Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all well and having a great week. All right, my name is Ash and I'm a product specialist at Wisenet. So I'm here to present our new and exciting e-learning integration, which allows you to link Wisenet LRM to your chosen LMS. This will simplify managing e-learning learners, enrollments, groups, as well as grades. Now, before I go into the details, a quick slide on housekeeping. Now, please feel free to raise your hand at any point if you have any technical difficulties or questions during the presentation. You can also use the Q&A option or the chat option to type in your questions. There'll be plenty of time for questions at the end of the session as well. All right, before I go ahead, do any of you have any issues with hearing me, looking at the slides or any of those things, or are we all good? Great, looks like we're all good. Awesome, let's talk a little bit about the e-learning. Obviously the technology has come a long way and education has changed dramatically with the distinctive rise of e-learning, whereby teaching is undertaken remotely and on digital platforms. This has enabled us to learn online through videos, interactive multimedia content, virtual classrooms, and even live exams. It has become one of the most efficient ways of delivering courses due to its convenience and flexibility. The resources are available from anywhere and at any time. We also now have the ability to connect with trainers and resources around the world. This enables this to be used not just for online courses, but also other modes of delivery. Now, in response to significant demand in the last few months, we at Wisenet have built an integration that is super efficient and something that can streamline the most time-consuming processes for you, like learner creation, access management, and grade sync. Over the period, we've observed that clever integration between apps has demonstrated team efficiency and higher engagement, and that's what we're trying to achieve here. Now, in this webinar, I'll be focusing on the new integration process with Moodle, being Moodle one of our native apps and your current e-learning platform. As mentioned at the beginning of the session, the new integration is designed to link Wisenet LRM to your chosen LMS. The first version, however, integrates with Moodle, but the design allows other LMS platforms to be added. Its transparency and clear visual aspect makes it easier to set up compared to the old model, which was using the plugins that had to be installed into Moodle. Whatever is set up in Wisenet now syncs directly into the e-learning platform and it's real time. You can now map your e-learning courses to Wisenet courses or units, which provides more flexibility. Group management is now also possible. You can specify the group for an e-learning enrollment and the integration will automatically add them into the right group in Moodle. You can allow your learners to log into Moodle directly. You no longer need to set up the learner app, and also this allows the use of custom authentication methods like Office 365, Gmail, and you can also bring in your own auth process to connect to Moodle. You can also set up enrollment rules to automate the enabling and disabling of e-learning enrollments and user access. Now, these rules are configured based on your course enrollment and unit enrollment start and end dates. This allows you to set and forget with regards to access control. The new integration, as I said, is obviously real time and it no longer requires waiting for jobs to run. So previously with the other plugins, it was based on scheduled tasks and cron jobs to be completed in Moodle, which was also delaying the entire enrollment process. You had to wait for learners to show up in Moodle before you could add them into groups. So this new integration will eliminate all those different issues. Now, if there is an issue with the new design, it's much easier to diagnose and resolve. The new model also allows us to deploy updates without any downtime or any hindrance to the integration process itself. We have introduced two different editions, standard and premium, and the pricing model now is very similar to what you have in Wisenet. It is all based on learner access. So it's all active learner pricing. The standard edition allows you to sync learners, enrollments, and groups to Moodle from Wisenet. This enables you to sync and map, again, Moodle courses to Wisenet course offers and unit offers. You can manage your e-learning enrollments as well as group your learners easily from within Wisenet with the standard edition. The premium edition has the full suite of features, including the new automated grading feature called the Autograde. This allows the setup of grade mapping rules that are used to process Moodle grade events to Wisenet and auto-update unit enrollment fields like outcome, result, and unit completion date. So what I'm showing you today is going to be the full suite of features. So I'll be covering everything that is part of the premium edition. With the slides, I've actually, I've put in a heading as standard or premium, because with the premium, as I said, it has the entire full suite of features. But if you're considering standard, and if you've not attended the last webinar I had, last week, so feel free to, just look at the headings, and I'll also mention whether it is part of both standard and premium. All right, for both the editions, the connection, the way you set up is very similar. So it all starts with the connected app. So within your settings, your LRM settings, there's a connected apps page, and you should see a new option for Moodle. If you receive a message that says your license currently does not support this feature, then this means that you do not have the current licensing to get started with the new e-learning integration. So please do log a support ticket, and one of us from the engagement team will be in contact with you to organize a demo and a required license. So once you see the green connected message, you have successfully connected Wisenet to Moodle and you're all good to go. Now, the new integration also allows you to link multiple Moodle instances to Wisenet. So if you have any, if you have multiple sites for different locations, different countries, then you can just, add the other site details by clicking on Add New Connection. It's very simple. You can set up enrollment rules to automate the enabling and disabling of e-learning enrollments and user access. And these rules are configured based on course enrollment and unit enrollment start and end dates, as I mentioned before. So based on how you set up your courses in Moodle, let's say if you create a qualification as a course, then you will be using the course enrollment start and end date method. And if you're creating your unit of competencies as courses in Moodle, then you can use the unit enrollment start and end date. So you can create a rule to drip feed the access in the courses. So it'll open based on the unit start and end date from within Wisenet for your learners. Now, once the rules are set, you can then map your e-learning courses to basically to your Wisenet course offers or the unit offers. So let's talk about the course offers, as I said, so as soon as you link the two together, when you go into e-learning courses, it gives you the category as well as the course for you to choose from, and you will link it to the course offer. If you're using the unit enrollment method, then once you choose the appropriate e-learning course, you can then link it to the unit of competency, which is the unit offer within Wisenet. So there's an additional setting for the unit offer for you to choose the unit. You can specify the group for an e-learning enrollment, and the integration will automatically add them to the right group in Moodle. So if you're grouping your students based on, trainers or certain, full-time, part-time, or workshop, or, workplace-based assessment like traineeship and apprenticeship students, if you have these different groups in Moodle, you can basically either put in the same group name, or you can start creating it from within Wisenet. So if you put in a group, when it creates an access in the enrollment in Moodle, it automatically creates the group in Moodle for you. You can add e-learning enrollments in bulk once the two courses are linked to each other. So once you link your e-learning course to the course offer or the unit offer, you can then add your learners in bulk, enabling them to be e-learning enrollments. We call them the e-learning enrollments, just so that you know whether they have access or not. And this can be done in bulk through that tab called e-learning enrollments. Now, based on the e-learning enrollment rule that we spoke about before, the enrollments will automatically automatically be enabled and disabled. You can, of course, at any point in time, manually edit and disable the access for any of your students. But yeah, based on the rule, it can automatically do it. You can also manage your access per learner from the individual learner's profile if they are withdrawing or cancelling from a course. For new learners, once the learner access is enabled, Moodle will automatically again send a user invite with the username and password to log in. Now, before I go into the Autograde, like the grading functionality, do you have any questions in terms of the enrollment? I'm going to just quickly see,
So to answer, Monique, just put up a ticket. Monique will be able to inform you on the addition. So we're quite happy to talk to you one-on-one. So if anyone's got any questions around their licensing and what additions they're on, we're quite happy to talk to you on that on one-on-one. Yes, Claire, Canvas is on its way. I promise. I've been told by my product team first quarter 2021. So what you're seeing now and the way it will connect will be the same, except it will be for Canvas. How does online enrolment affect this? It doesn't, Michelle, unless you're doing something in particular that I'm not aware of. But Ash, do you want to?
Yeah, so Michelle, there are two separate applications. The online enrollment will obviously bring the enrollments into the sales section, and only once they are accepted, you can enable the e-learning enrollment. So there's just two separate processes. Happy to speak to you when we catch up on Friday. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. Any other questions? Perfect. All right, so I'm just going to close this window, go back. So Autograde is the major new feature that we have released to simplify the whole e-learning grade to Wisenet sync process. Now, this is only available in the premium edition. So you can define multiple Autograde rules, just like the way we have the enrollment rules. You can have grade rules and configure conditions to automatically update certain unit enrollment fields when a grade is submitted to Wisenet. So previously we could only handle two scales, the competent and not yet competent with the old plugin, but now this allows, a lot of freedom and flexibility. So you can have, the result or outcome field, end date, and of course for New Zealand, SDR and NZQA outcomes updated within Wisenet. So for SDR and NZQA, you'll just see, more options in the drop down. So the Autograde feature now supports New Zealand grades as well. It also supports higher education grading systems like letter grades and value-based grades, or like distinction, high distinction, especially if you have even not just higher education, but ELICOurse courses, you can push numbers or values into Wisenet and you can convert them into grades or outcomes based on your grade rules. So the way it works is in Moodle, you would be setting up grade category and you'll be grouping your assessment, especially in the vet sector. Obviously you have different assessments, like could be, project, quizzes, and then a workshop or workplace-based assessment, all forming part of the final unit of competency grade. So we kind of recommend you using grade categories to group these assessments together. And what we do is push the grade category total, which is the final unit of competency grade, into Wisenet. And as I said, it doesn't have to be competent or not yet competent. It could be anything. It could be like a point between 0 to 100, or it could be a value or a scale, or could be even percentages. You can say anything between a 0 to a 99% is not yet competent and 100 is competent. And same for New Zealand, you could have even numbers pushed in, to show you a range that the student has achieved somewhere between 82 and 85, or the actual value of 82 or 83, which maps to an appropriate corresponding grade. You can assign these grade rules to different units. So within the same qualification, if you have accredited units or non-accredited units within the same qual, you can assign different grade rules within the same qualification. So each unit offer can have different ones. You can also bulk update, so you can choose all the unit of competency and assign the same grade rule. And once the rule has been applied, automatically the grades start pushing from Moodle into Wisenet, and you can monitor these grade events known as Autograde activities to ensure the current grade values are being updated. So you can go into the reports and Autograde activities at any point in time to monitor. What we show on this page is only up to 30 days, but you can run a report to get the entire list of students per month or for whatever date range you require. So there are 3 types of Autograde activity statuses. The auto-graded, which means that the unit enrollments have automatically been graded and the outcomes and the dates have already been assigned to those unit enrollments. To review, which will list the unit enrollments that have been skipped due to an issue like unit code not matching or the grade rule not being set properly with the appropriate value. Then once you check, these events and acknowledge, it goes into the acknowledge tab, which consists of events that have been acknowledged from the to review section. So this is mainly what the Autograde does. So it can, as I said, it's more flexible. It can capture all these different grades and update the unit enrollments automatically for you. That was the entire integration that's available with the Premium Edition. Now, let's look at how to transition to the new integration. Some of you may not be aware that we no longer be supporting the old Moodle connectors or the plugins. So eventually all of you will have to transition to the new e-learning integration. This is definitely for your benefit, as the new integration is highly efficient and streamlines this thinking process, as you can see. And yeah, it's a complete one-stop shop for your business. Please do contact us by logging a support ticket to discuss the suitable edition for your business. We can plan the transition process with you and help you with all the different parts of the setup, including the testing before you go live. I would also like to mention at this point that we can look into using a script to help you bulk enroll e-learning enrollments into multiple course offers in the back end if you have a lot of learners continuing into the new year. And I feel like this is a good time to have this conversation because you're planning for your 2021 intakes and all that. So we've already started implementing the new integration with some of our clients. So yeah, we can even do a phased approach where we're implementing it for your new students first, and then we can do it for your continuing. Awesome. That's kind of the end of my presentation. So I'm open for any questions. I'll be here to answer any of your questions. The recording will be made available to you. So if you want to share it with your other team members, feel free to do so, and feel free to even book in a time with us or log a ticket to transition to the new e-learning integration. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
Ash, there's a question there from Jack Murray.
So the question is, do you have to have Moodle set up as one Moodle course equals to one qualification for this to work optimally? What happens if you have Moodle set up as one Moodle course equals to one unit of competency?
No problem. So we can handle both, Jack. So previously, I mean, if you are using our old plugins, you will know, it could either be only the course offer way or the unit offer way, but now it allows for both. So if you have certain courses that are mapped to, one qualification as a course in Moodle, then for just those course offers, you can have it set by the course enrollment rule. But for your courses where one Moodle course equals one unit of competency, then you can use the unit enrollment method to map one unit across one Moodle course. Both are possible. And you can have a combination of both within the same course offer as well.
So we have another question as well. When do you suggest the integration with Canvas will take place?
So you're asking when it's, sorry.
Yep, so we have a question from Sapide.
Yep.
And they're asking, when do you suggest the integration with Canvas will take place?
Yeah, so the Canvas integration is being prepared now. So first quarter 2021, it will be ready. So if you want to put up a support ticket telling us that you're keen to have this done, and our product team will ensure that you're on the list for the beta testing for the Canvas integration.
Thank you, Mary.
Thanks, Nell.
Thanks, Mary. Any further questions? I'll stay here for another 5 minutes to answer any questions you may have. Just a slide on our team. So I would like, for people who want to leave, happy for you guys to leave. So I just wanted to let you know, the integration, the setup itself is a one-time process. It is a bit of a setup, but we're here to help through the entire process, until you have onboarded successfully. So please do not hesitate to contact us via support to make the switch. Thank you.